Right, well, I've never done a Postbag type video before, but it is quite a common thing in the electronics YouTube sort of community, isn't it, to do a Postbag. So I've got a load of stuff that's just come through the post all at once. I thought it'd be worth having a look at this because in some ways, you know, we're going to be talking about some of the projects that I'm going to be putting together in the next few weeks and months. So first of all, I got this package from proto-pic. So proto-pic's one of those companies that makes lots of accessories for the Raspberry Pi and for the BBC Microbit, and they were having a sale, so I thought I would help myself to a few new bits and pieces. Now this one, I'm afraid I cheated. I built this one already because I was quite excited to put this together. This is a kit. So it comes with the micro USB connector here and a couple of headers to solder together, and this is the part number if you're interested, AR415. So what this is for a breadboard like so, and you can plug this in on one of these kind of power strips on the edge here. So you can use a USB power supply with a standard micro connector to supply power to your breadboard. So I thought that was quite nice little idea. It's a bit similar to this idea, you might have seen this type of thing before, which has got a couple of regulators on board. So it's got a 3 volt and a 5 volt regulator, and similarly this kind of plugs onto the end of the breadboard like that, so you can put a 9 volt plug in there or something, and you've got the different power rails that you can use to drive the circuitry on your breadboard. So that's quite a nice thing. Next we've got we've got a couple of adapters. So there's this here, AR363, is a little adapter board, so you can put a SOIC surface mount chip, so you can solder a surface mount chip onto here and then put some headers on. So it's it's an easy way to adapt a I mean, some chips these days you can only get in the surface mount format, so this is a way to adapt them so you can use them on a breadboard. And similarly there's another one here, AR169. So this is another one. So we've got another 20 pin chip adapter here, same idea. And then we've got AR631. So this is obviously inspired by the microbit. So you have this kind of extra, sort of connector that you can plug normal banana plugs into to make things, and so again you can put some headers in here, and it's a way to adapt so that you can connect your microbit to things on a breadboard. Then we have, this was just a random thing that they had, so the DR253, this is a colour changing LED, so that only cost a few pence. That was good value. And then finally, in the proto-pic set, we've got this. It's an adapter board, again, inspired by the kind of plugging system of the BBC Microbit for banana plugs. But this little chip here is the TMP36, which is a temperature sensor. So it represents temperature as different voltage, so it does a temperature to voltage conversion. So you can connect this up to your microbit and you can get a temperature reading. So I'm going to be building that. That'll probably be a video where I'll do that, and I'll connect it to the microbit and show how to write the code for it. So that's the pieces that I got from proto-pic. And I've also got this rather anonymous looking bag here, but this is a bag full of 5, is it? X9C103. So an X9C103 is a digital potentiometer, so basically like a variable resistor. And so what happens with this guy is you've got a potentiometer like this, and you can connect things to 3 of the pins like this, so that the potentiometer can be wound up and down to give you different voltages or different resistances. But the clever bit is that this is actually digitally controlled, so you've got some logic here, and you can tell it to go up or down, and you can tell it to step. So basically you could connect this to a Arduino or a Raspberry Pi or something, and actually use this as maybe an electronic volume control, or to turn a voltage up and down on a power supply or something. So I'm not sure what I'm going to use those for now, but I think that should be quite interesting. And then the other thing that came in was stuff from icstation. Now I'm not sure what's happening with icstation at the moment, because when I checked their website the other day, it didn't seem to be registered any longer, although they're still on AliExpress. But I'll check that again, I think, after this video. So what have we got here? First of all, there's this, let's cut this open. So this is a little kind of logic probe. I was kind of expecting it to be a kit, but it's come fully assembled. So it's got some LEDs on it, and it's got a chip there. I'm not sure what the chip is, but I'll do another video on this at some point. So it's a little logic probe to detect different logic states and light the LEDs. So I think that could be quite fun. And the other thing that came in from icstation is this little white line follower robot. And in the best tradition of children's television, here's one that I prepared earlier. So the idea of this, it's got a couple of motors that can drive the wheel, so it can go straight ahead or left and right, and it has a couple of sensors here, so it shines a light off the ground, and it's basically looking for a white line or a black line to follow. So you set it off, and then depending on which light is switched on or off, it should turn. I'm not sure the batteries are really good on this, but you see the idea. So this is actually quite a simple circuit. It's got the one chip here, which is a comparator. Actually, that chip's a bit loose. Maybe that's why it wasn't working. There we go. So it basically drives away from the white. If it sees white, it drives away from it, so it can follow a black line. So as I was saying, it uses a single comparator to look at the two sensors and decide to go left or right. But what I was thinking is to take all this electronics off, just keep these drive transistors, and I could mount the microbit somewhere. So get the microbit to be the controlling logic instead of the comparator, and then I could make maybe a smarter robot, so perhaps not just following lines, but program a pattern that it has to follow. I'm not sure, I haven't fully thought it out yet, but there we go. We've got a kit. This particular kit is quite cheap at the moment. I think it was less than £4, so it should be an interesting experiment. I mean, there are robot kits that exist for the BBC microbit, but some of them can be quite expensive. So I thought it'd be nice to take this cheap kit and see what I could do with the microbit. Okay, so that's all the Postbag items I've got for today. Thanks very much for watching. let me know in the comments down below if any of those items interest you particularly. You know, tell me which ones that I should be making a video of first. So thanks very much. See you in the next video.